Welcome to Versus, the best career comparison channel. Two artists, two careers, and only one winner. In this video, we compare the careers of two of the greatest hard rock bands of all time, ACDC and Van Halen. Which album had a bigger impact? Back in Black or 1984? Which song topped the charts more, Panama or Highway to Hell? And which hard rock band left a bigger legacy? ACDC was formed in Sydney in 1973 by brothers Angus and Malcolm Young, Scottish immigrants with a love for raw, high-energy rock and roll. Inspired by blues rock, Chuck Berry, and hard boogie, they built a loud, stripped-down sound centered on driving riffs and relentless rhythm. With Bon Scott as their original frontman, ACDC quickly earned a reputation for explosive live shows, cheeky lyrics, and an unapologetic attitude that set them apart in the emerging hard rock scene. Van Halen formed in Pasadena, California in 1972, led by brothers Eddie and Alex Van Halen, later joined by bassist Michael Anthony, and charismatic frontman David Lee Roth. Initially called Mammoth, the band built a fierce local reputation through relentless club gigs and backyard parties. Eddie's revolutionary guitar technique, especially two-handed tapping, set them apart. Their raw energy caught the attention of Gene Simmons, helping them secure a record deal and launch a new era of hard rock. ACDC achieved their first major success in the mid-1970s, with their breakthrough albums High Voltage and TNT in 1975 in Australia. Songs like It's a Long Way to the Top became anthems, driven by Angus Young's electrifying guitar work and Bon Scott's gritty charisma. Their relentless touring and raw, no-frills hard rock sound quickly built a loyal fan base, turning ACDC into one of Australia's hottest live rock acts and setting the stage for international success. Van Halen achieved their first major success with their 1978 self-titled debut album, which exploded onto the hard rock scene. Powered by Eddie Van Halen's groundbreaking guitar solo on Eruption and high-energy tracks like Runnin' with the Devil and You Really Got Me, the album became a massive word-of-mouth hit. It peaked in the Billboard Top 20, went multi-platinum, and instantly established Van Halen as one of the most exciting new bands in rock. ACDC albums had a massive and lasting impact on hard rock and popular music. Records like Highway to Hell and Back in Black defined a timeless, riff-driven sound built on simplicity, power, and attitude. Back in Black became one of the best-selling albums in history, proving rock's global commercial strength. ACDC's consistency across decades influenced countless bands, shaped stadium rock culture, and cemented their albums as essential blueprints for raw, no-nonsense rock and roll. Number 3. The Razor's Edge, 1990. The Razor's Edge marked a massive commercial and cultural resurgence for ACDC. The album sold over 12 million copies worldwide and reached the top 10 across major markets, including a top 5 peak on the Billboard 200. Driven by the iconic single Thunderstruck, it reintroduced the band to a new generation. Its hard-hitting, modern production reaffirmed ACDC's relevance in the 1990s and cemented their legacy as one of rock's most enduring, stadium-filling bands. Number 2. Highway to Hell, 1979. Highway to Hell was ACDC's international breakthrough and Bon Scott's final album. It sold over 10 million copies worldwide and became their first major U.S. success, peaking in the top 20 on the Billboard 200. With a cleaner, more powerful production, the album sharpened their hard rock sound and broadened their audience. Songs like the title track became rock staples, securing the album's legacy as a defining moment in late 70s hard rock history. Number 1. Back in Black, 1980. Back in Black is one of the most successful albums in music history. Selling over 50 million copies worldwide, it topped charts across multiple countries and became a landmark commercial triumph. Released as a tribute to Bon Scott and introducing Brian Johnson, the album delivered iconic tracks like Hell's Bells and You Shook Me All Night Long. Its stripped-down power redefined hard rock, set the standard for arena rock, and cemented ACDC's eternal legacy. Van Halen's albums reshaped hard rock and heavy metal by redefining guitar-driven music for a new generation. Eddie Van Halen's innovative tone and technique influenced countless guitarists, while the band's balance of technical brilliance, hooks, and swagger brought hard rock into the mainstream. Albums like Van Halen 1984 and 5150 delivered massive sales, radio dominance, and arena appeal. bridging classic rock and modern metal, and setting new standards for energy, production, and musicianship. Number 3. 5150, 1986. 5150 marked a bold new era for Van Halen with Sammy Hagar as lead singer. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 6 million copies in the US. Musically, it blended Eddie Van Halen's guitar firepower with a more melodic, arena-ready sound. 5150 proved the band's resilience after a major lineup change, launched the commercially dominant Van Hagar era, and secured Van Halen's long-term legacy as a chart-topping rock powerhouse. Number 2, 1984, 1984. 1984 represents Van Halen's commercial and cultural peak. The album reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 10 million copies in the US. Fueled by global hits like Jump, Panama, and Hot for Teacher, it dominated radio and MTV. 1984 successfully fused hard rock with synthesizers without losing edge, expanded the band's mainstream audience, and cemented Van Halen as one of the defining rock acts of the 1980s. Number 1. Van Halen, 1978. Van Halen is one of the most impactful debut albums in rock history. It peaked at number 19 on the Billboard 200 and has sold over 10 million copies in the US. The album introduced Eddie Van Halen's revolutionary guitar style, especially through Eruption, instantly changing hard rock's direction. Its raw energy, virtuosity, and swagger influenced generations of musicians and established Van Halen as a dominant force whose debut reshaped the sound and attitude of modern rock. ACDC hits had a huge and lasting impact on rock culture and popular music. Songs like Back in Black, Highway to Hell, Thunderstruck, and You Shook Me All Night Long became global anthems, dominating radio, stadiums, and pop culture for decades. Their simple yet powerful riffs set a blueprint for hard rock songwriting. ACDC's hits transcended generations, fueling sports events, films, and live shows, and cementing their reputation as one of the most reliable hit-making rock bands ever. Number 3. Thunderstruck, 1990. Thunderstruck became one of ACDC's most iconic and enduring hits. The song achieved strong global sales and chart success, reaching the top 10 in several countries and becoming a staple of rock radio. Its instantly recognizable opening riff turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Widely used in sports, films, commercials, and live shows, Thunderstruck revitalized ACDC's career in the 1990s and secured its legacy as a timeless hard rock anthem across generations. Number 2. Highway to Hell, 1979. Highway to Hell was ACDC's breakthrough hit and the defining anthem of the Bon Scott era. The song achieved strong global sales and chart success, becoming their first major international hit and reaching the top 50 on the Billboard Hot 100. Its instantly recognizable chorus and driving riff helped bring hard rock into the mainstream. Highway to Hell became a cultural symbol of rebellion, cemented ACDC's identity, and remains one of rock's most enduring and influential songs. Number 1. Back in Black, 1980. Back in Black is one of the most successful rock songs ever recorded. It achieved massive global sales, strong chart longevity, and became a permanent fixture on rock radio worldwide. Built on one of music's most iconic riffs, the song symbolized ACDC's triumphant return after Bon Scott's death. Its influence spans generations of rock and metal artists, while its constant presence in sports, films, and pop culture secured its legacy as a timeless hard rock anthem. Van Halen's hit singles reshaped mainstream rock by combining virtuoso musicianship with mass appeal. Songs like Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher, and Running with the Devil dominated radio, MTV, and arenas, proving hard rock could thrive in pop culture. Eddie Van Halen's instantly recognizable guitar work set new technical standards, while the band's energy and charisma defined the sound and image of 1980s rock, influencing countless artists across hard rock, metal, and mainstream pop rock. Number 3. Hot for Teacher, 1984. Hot for Teacher became one of Van Halen's most iconic hits, peaking in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 and receiving massive MTV airplay. While not their biggest seller individually, its exposure drove 1984's multi-platinum success. The song's explosive double bass intro, virtuosic guitar work, and unforgettable video redefined rock showmanship. Hot for Teacher remains a hard rock staple symbolizing Van Halen's energy, humor, and technical dominance during their peak era. Number 2. Panama, 1984. Panama stands as one of Van Halen's definitive hard rock anthems. The song reached the top 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a long-term rock radio staple, driving the massive success of 1984. Fueled by Eddie Van Halen's roaring guitar tone and a raw, high-octane groove, Panama captured the band's swagger and power. Its enduring presence in sports, films, and pop culture cemented its legacy as a timeless celebration of speed, excess, and arena rock energy. Number 1. Jump, 1984. Jump is Van Halen's biggest and most commercially successful hit. The song reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold millions of copies worldwide. Its bold, synth-driven hook broke hard rock into full pop dominance, fueled by constant MTV rotation. Jump expanded the band's audience beyond rock fans, sparked debate among purists, and ultimately became one of the defining songs of the 1980s, symbolizing Van Halen's crossover power and mainstream cultural impact. ACDC tours had a huge impact on live rock culture and the rise of stadium concerts. Known for raw power, volume, and consistency, their shows turned simple hard rock into a global spectacle. Tours supporting Highway to Hell, Back in Black, and The Razor's Edge drew millions of fans and set benchmarks for attendance and revenue. Angus Young's non-stop energy became iconic, while ACDC's touring dominance proved that no-frills rock and roll could thrive worldwide for decades. Number 3, Black Ice World Tour, 2008-2010. ACDC's Black Ice World Tour was one of the highest-grossing tours in rock history, earning over $440 million and selling millions of tickets worldwide. The tour drew massive stadium crowds across multiple continents, proving ACDC's unmatched global appeal decades into their career. Its scale, production, and relentless energy reaffirmed the band's dominance as a live act. The tour's success cemented ACDC's legacy as one of the most powerful and enduring touring forces in music history. Number 2, The Razor's Edge World Tour, 1990-1991. ACDC's The Razor's Edge World Tour marked a major commercial and cultural resurgence. The tour sold millions of tickets worldwide and drew huge arena and stadium audiences across Europe, North America, and Australia. Powered by the success of Thunderstruck, it reintroduced ACDC to a younger generation and restored them to top-tier live status. Its high-energy performances and global reach reinforced the band's reputation as one of rock's most reliable and electrifying touring acts. Number 1, Back in Black World Tour, 1980-1981. ACDC's Back in Black World Tour was a landmark moment in rock history. The tour sold millions of tickets worldwide and attracted massive arena audiences, proving the band's strength after the loss of Bon Scott. Introducing Brian Johnson as frontman, the tour delivered explosive performances and solidified ACDC as a global powerhouse. Its success transformed the band into a permanent stadium act and established a touring blueprint that influenced hard rock and live production for decades. Van Halen's tours set new standards for hard rock live performance, combining explosive musicianship, showmanship, and party-level energy. Throughout the late 1970s and 1980s, the band became a dominant arena act, consistently selling out venues and headlining major tours. Eddie Van Halen's live guitar performances reinforced his legendary status, while the band's charisma turned concerts into cultural events. Their touring success cemented Van Halen as one of rock's premier live attractions and helped transform hard rock into a mainstream stadium force. Number 3, 5150 Tour, 1986. 5150 Tour marked a triumphant new chapter for Van Halen following a major lineup change. The tour played to sold-out arenas across North America, drawing millions of fans and generating strong box office returns. It proved that the band could maintain massive live appeal with Sammy Hagar as frontman. Musically tighter and more polished, the 5150 Tour cemented the Van Hagar era, reassured skeptics, and secured Van Halen's status as one of the world's elite hard rock touring acts. Number 2, World Vacation Tour, 1979. World Vacation Tour marked Van Halen's breakthrough as a global live powerhouse. Supporting Van Halen II, the tour drew huge arena crowds across the US, Europe, and Japan, delivering strong ticket sales and sold-out shows. Its impact lay in proving the band's explosive club reputation could translate worldwide. Eddie Van Halen's virtuosic performances stunned international audiences, while the band's raw energy and confidence cemented their legacy as one of the most electrifying live acts of the late 1970s. Number 1, 1984 Tour, 1984. 1984 tour represented Van Halen at the absolute peak of their commercial power. The tour sold out arenas across North America, drawing millions of fans and generating massive box office revenue. Fueled by MTV dominating hits like Jump in Panama, it turned concerts into pop culture events. Eddie Van Halen's show-stealing performances and the band's larger-than-life stage presence set new standards for hard rock touring, cementing the tour's legacy as one of the defining rock spectacles of the 1980s. ACDC have won a limited number of awards during their iconic career. They have won one Grammy in the Best Hard Rock Performance category for the song War Machine. They have multiple wins and honors in Australia. They have received an award at the Brit Awards for international recognition for global success. Angus and Malcolm Young have received the Order of Australia for services to music. ACDC are among the highest-grossing touring rock bands in history. They have a consistent multi-decade chart presence from the 1970s to the 2010s, and they are one of the most played bands on rock radio ever. Van Halen have won a number of awards during their legendary career. They have won one Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. They have won an American Music Award for Favorite Heavy Metal Hard Rock Album for 1984. They have also won an MTV Video Music Award for Best Stage Performance in a video for Jump. Van Halen were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007, recognized for career impact and influence. They are one of the best-selling hard rock bands of all time, and Eddie Van Halen is widely ranked among the greatest guitarists in history, credited with revolutionizing modern rock guitar technique. AC/DC built one of the most enduring legacies in rock history by staying fiercely loyal to a simple, powerful sound. Their relentless riffs, iconic imagery, and no-nonsense attitude defined hard rock across generations. With record-breaking sales, legendary tours, and timeless anthems, AC/DC proved that consistency could equal greatness. They influenced countless bands, dominated stadiums for decades, and turned raw rock and roll into a global language. Their legacy stands as a blueprint for longevity, authenticity, and pure rock power. Van Halen left one of the most powerful legacies in rock history by reshaping hard rock's sound, image, and technical standards. Eddie Van Halen revolutionized guitar playing, influencing generations across rock and metal. The band combined virtuosity with mass appeal, producing era-defining albums, hits, and tours. Surviving major lineup changes while remaining commercially dominant, Van Halen bridged classic rock and modern hard rock, set new benchmarks for live performance, and became a blueprint for longevity, reinvention, and mainstream success in rock music. Van Halen had a revolutionary career, redefining hard rock with Eddie Van Halen's groundbreaking guitar work, massive hits, and a dynamic stage presence that shaped an entire generation of musicians. Their impact on technique and style is undeniable. However, AC/DC ultimately win the comparison through unmatched longevity, greater global sales, and consistent dominance across 5 decades. With timeless albums, iconic tours, and universal anthems, AC/DC built a broader, more enduring legacy that transcended trends and generations. Do you agree with the winner? And which artist careers would you like to see compared next? Write in the comments below and don't forget to like and follow. See you in the next comparison.